Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to uncover the story of a woman whose name echoes through the halls of Indian history, Rani Lakshmi, by the Queen of Jhansi. But this isn't just a story you learned in school. We're going to delve deeper, beyond the legend, to find the real woman behind the warrior, tale of courage, defiance, and a legacy that was almost erased. Our story begins not in a palace, but in the holy city of Varanasi, where a girl named Manikarnika Tam was born in 1828. Affectionately called Manu, she was anything but a typical girl of her time. Her mother passed away when she was just 4, and she was raised in the court of the Peshwa Bajirao II in Bithor. Imagine this, a young girl growing up not with dolls and domestic chores, but surrounded by political intrigue, military strategy, and the sounds of sword practice. She learned to ride horses, wield a sword, and shoot with remarkable skill, training alongside boys who would later become key figures in the rebellion, like Nana Sahib and Tatyat. This unconventional upbringing forged her into an independent and fiercely intelligent young woman, qualities that would define her destiny. At the age of 14, her life took a dramatic turn. She was married to the Maharaja of Jhansi Gangadhar Rao Nilkara, and as was tradition, she was given a new name, Lakshmibai. Suddenly, the free-spirited Manu was the Rani of a princely state, but tragedy was never far. In 1851, she gave birth to a son, Damodar Rao, but the joy was short-lived as the infant passed away after only 4 months. The couple was heartbroken. Desperate for an heir, they adopted a son, Anand Rao, who was renamed Damodar Rao. Just a day before the Maharaja's death in 1853, this is where the British East India Company enters our story, with a policy that would change everything, the doctrine of lapse. This infamous doctrine, spearheaded by Lord Dalhousie, stated that if an Indian ruler died without a natural male heir, their kingdom would be annexed by the British. The British refused to recognize the adopted Damodar Rao as the rightful heir. They saw an opportunity and seized it. Jhansi was to be absorbed into their growing empire. They ordered Rani Lakshmibai to leave the fort, offering her a pension and stripping her of her title. Imagine the insult, the sheer audacity. She was a queen being told to abandon her home and her people. Her response was resolute and has become legendary. She famously declared, "Mary Jhansi, nahi dumi. I will not surrender my Jhansi." This wasn't just a political statement. It was a mother's vow to protect her son's inheritance and a queen's promise to her subjects. She refused to bow down. For the next few years, she pleaded her case to the British through legal channels, sending appeals to London, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. The company was determined to take Jhansi. Now, let's talk about something often overlooked. Rani Lakshmibai as an administrator. In the years leading up to the Great Revolt, she proved to be a ruler of exceptional ability. She strengthened Jhansi's defenses, reorganized the army, and was known for her just and fair governance. She held daily courts, listening to the grievances of her people, rich and poor alike. What's truly remarkable is that she established a women's regiment in her army. In an era when women were largely confined to their homes, she empowered them to be soldiers, to defend their homeland. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture. It was a strategic move that showed her progressive and inclusive vision for Jhansi. Then, in May 1857, the spark of rebellion ignited in Meerut and quickly spread across northern India. The Great Revolt had begun. Initially, Rani Lakshmibai was hesitant to join. She was still trying to secure her rights through peaceful means, but the British forces, stretched thin, left Jhansi, and chaos ensued. Seeing the vacuum of power and the need for order, she took control as regent for her son. She wasn't just fighting the British, she was fighting to maintain stability and protect her people from anarchy. In March 1858, the British, under the command of Sir Hugh Rose, laid siege to the fortress of Jhansi. What followed was 2 weeks of relentless bombardment. The defenders of Jhansi, men and women, fought with incredible bravery. The Rani herself was a whirlwind of activity, inspecting defenses, boosting morale, and even taking part in the fighting on the ramparts. Eyewitness accounts from that time, even from the British side, describe her as a figure of immense courage and leadership, always at the heart of the action. But the odds were overwhelming. The British forces were larger, better equipped, and had breached the city walls. With the fall of Jhansi imminent, the Rani knew she had to escape to continue the fight. And this is where we get one of the most iconic images of her legacy. In the dead of night, with her young son Damodar Rao strapped to her back, she mounted her horse, Badal, and leaped over the high walls of the fort to safety. It's a moment that feels like it's straight out of a movie, but it speaks to her incredible equestrian skill and her sheer will to survive. She fled to Kalpi, where she joined forces with other rebel leaders, including the formidable Tatia Topi here. She wasn't just a queen in exile, she became a key military strategist. Her experience and tactical mind were invaluable to the rebel cause. She urged them to regroup and capture the strategic fort of Gwalior. The plan worked. The rebels took Gwalior without a fight, as the Maharaja's troops defected to their side. It was a massive victory and a huge morale boost for the rebellion. In Gwalior, Rani Lakshmibai once again demonstrated her leadership. She tried to prepare the rebel army for the inevitable British counterattack, but the celebrations were premature and discipline was lacking. When Sir Hugh Rose and his forces arrived to retake Gwalior, the rebels were caught off guard. This brings us to her final battle. On June 18, 1858, dressed not in the finery of a queen but in the uniform of a cavalry leader, she led a fierce charge against the British. She fought valiantly, a beacon of defiance on the battlefield. Accounts of her death vary slightly, but most agree that she was severely wounded during the fighting. Some say it was a saber cut, others a gunshot. Knowing her end was near, she asked her followers to ensure her body was not captured by the British. She didn't want them to have the satisfaction of claiming her as a trophy. Her loyal guards carried her to a nearby hut where she passed away. They cremated her body right there, honoring her final wish. She was just 29 years old. Even her enemy, Sir Hugh Rose, was moved to acknowledge her greatness. He later wrote that though Rani was the most dangerous of all the rebel leaders, describing her as personable, clever, and beautiful. High praise from the man who was tasked with defeating her. After her death, the British tried to vilify her, painting her as a treacherous and bloodthirsty woman to justify their annexation of Jhansi. For decades, her story was suppressed, a footnote in the colonial narrative, but you can't erase a legacy like that. Her story lived on in folk songs, poems, and the hearts of the Indian people. She became a powerful symbol of resistance against colonial rule, a martyr for the cause of freedom. Generations later, during India's struggle for independence in the 20th century, her story was revived. Freedom fighters invoked her name to inspire a new generation to fight for their nation's liberty. She was no longer just the Rani of Jhansi. She was a national hero, an icon of female power and patriotism. The first all-female regiment of the Indian National Army, formed by Subhas Chandra Bose, was named the Rani of Jhansi Regiment. So, the next time you hear the name Jhansi Ki Rani, remember the whole story. Remember the young girl who trained with swords instead of playing with dolls. Remember the astute administrator who empowered women. Remember the loving mother who fought for her son's birthright. And remember the warrior queen who chose to fight and die for her people's freedom rather than submit to injustice. Her life was short, but her legacy is eternal. A timeless reminder that courage has no gender and that the fight for freedom is always a story worth telling. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, please hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more hidden histories. Let us know in the comments what you think about Rani Lakshmi Bai's incredible life. Until next time, stay curious.